So this is a quick video on some preventative maintenance if you have a 22R. Apologize for how dirty this is, but today's upgrade and change is this guy right here. And like I said, it matters if you have a 22R or an RE, and why there's a difference is because R is carbureted. RE would be electronically controlled fuel injection. This is the mechanical fuel pump for the carburetor. Now, if you have one of these, 1977 to 86, you would have a 22R. Now, why I'm changing this is because this morning I noticed was seeping fuel. And a very decent amount of fuel is coming right actually out of the bottom here. There's a hole. Now, this is the fuel pump. It essentially is camshaft driven, and I'll show you what the example looks like, but it is driven by the cam and pumps fuel from the tank itself and repressurizes it to the carburetor. Now, Toyotas are super reliable, obviously. This thing's been an absolute tank, but there are parts that fail. This is something that is starting to fail now. It's leaking fuel, but I'm glad I caught it now, and I'm making this video to prove or present something that could commonly be fixed ahead of time, depending on what mileage you have or the condition of yours, and it's cheap insurance, and it's, in my opinion, one of the smarter preventative maintenance items to do on these. It's a very cheap part. This was 43 bucks from any auto parts store you get, and it comes with a lifetime warranty, at least the new one is. And I'll show you what that looks like. So this is the new fuel pump. Nice and shiny. Now, one might ask, well, what mileage would you change these at? Well, that's a great question. There's really no good answer for that. I only have 70,000 miles on this. It's a 1984, but it is leaking. So the diaphragm that's inside of here is starting to fail, which is hence why it's leaking. And I have always been super naive about fuel leaks, just due to fire hazards and then everything surrounding that. So if I sense any gas, which I smelled it this morning driving this, I immediately popped the hood and inspected it, and realized that it was the fuel pump itself. Now, just like this is how it works, and this actual piece right there is what is pushed off the cam lobe, and that pumps the fuel itself. And I will install this new piece and see if that stopped my leak. So, obviously you can see where mine is leaking and is dumping a good amount of fuel, and I'm not going to run it too much longer, but you can see an idea of what it's leaking from and where. So replacing this is actually very straightforward. You have your feed fuel line and your pressurized outward to the carb, as well as a vacuum line. And then you have one bolt right here, as well as on the other side right there, which can be done, accessed by an extension. And then this whole unit will come out. All right, here is the brand new fuel pump. It's actually very nice. Here is the old one, and I can actually see where it was seeping on the side. I don't know what kind of gasket setup they're using here, but it's definitely bad. Okay, so new fuel pump is on. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of a pain in the butt. Biggest thing I would say with these is make sure that the actual plastic spacer is lined up with the hole. It was preventing me from putting this in all the way, and just by simply double checking it would have made and saved a lot of time. Alright, new fuel pump is in. Everything's running good, fuel flow is showing. So, yep, everything's good. Biggest thing I would say is do not over tighten these bolts, because it is an aluminum head, and we, including myself, have a tendency to always over tighten stuff. Do not over tighten these. Hand tight is good enough for these. And you can verify if it's tight enough is if you get any oil seepage right here. But if you lay a good amount of gasket, I use Ultra Black, and that worked out actually really well. So yeah, I would say it's just good preventative maintenance. If you're planning on doing a really long trip, at least buy one of these and have it with you, because where this was leaking fuel, it was leaking enough fuel that I just was not going to drive it anymore, just because of the fuel or a fire hazard. So yeah, it would have left me stranded. But it was super easy to get the part, and if you are thinking of replacing this, or you're just not sure how old yours is, I mean, it's cheap insurance. It's I'm at 44 bucks. So thanks for watching, and I will upload more videos.